The Battle of Rzhev was a series of military operations that took place on the Eastern Front during World War II between the armies of the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany. The battle took place between October 1941 and March 1943 around the city of Rzhev, about 200 kilometers northwest of Moscow. At that time, the Germans had carried out Operation Barbarossa and managed to approach Moscow. However, the Red Army launched a counterattack to protect their capital. The Battle of Rzhev was part of the Soviet effort to destroy the German army and push them back. Rzhev became one of the main defensive points for the Germans to prevent the Soviet attack on Moscow. The battle was known to be very brutal, with difficult terrain, muddy trenches, and very low temperatures. Soviet troops repeatedly launched large-scale attacks on German positions at Rzhev. Although they often managed to break through the German front lines, they always had difficulty holding the position because of German counterattacks. The tenacious German resistance and their defensive strategy caused the Soviets to suffer heavy losses, with thousands of soldiers killed in each battle. For over a year, the fighting around Rzhev produced no significant results for either side. Although the Soviets managed to disrupt the German lines and force them to divert troops from other fronts, the Germans managed to hold much of the area until they finally withdrew in March 1943 under pressure from Soviet offensive operations elsewhere. The fighting at Rzhev was costly for both sides. It is estimated that over 1 million Soviet soldiers were killed or wounded in the battle, while German losses were also very high. Because of the extremely high casualty rate, the battle has been referred to as the Rzhev meat grinder. Although the battle is rarely discussed in detail in general histories of World War II, its importance cannot be overstated. It gave the Soviets time to strengthen their defenses around Moscow and prepare for a major counteroffensive, which eventually drove the Germans from Soviet territory. The battle also demonstrated the Red Army's determination and courage in the face of a formidable enemy, and provided valuable lessons in the strategy and tactics of warfare. For the Soviet Union, Rzhev became a symbol of the enormous sacrifices they had to pay to defend their homeland from the threat of invasion. The Battle of Rzhev was one of the bloodiest battles in World War II, yet it is often overlooked in the broader historical narrative. It reminds us of the complexity and brutality of war, and the countless sacrifices made by Soviet soldiers in defense of their homeland.